My name is Peter Brunninger, and I'm delighted to be here today with Mark Conti from MC Audiotech. Mark, how are you?
Fine, Peter. How are you? Good to see you again.
It's great to be here. This is the official launch of production model.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell us about the loudspeaker.
Well, basically what we're introducing is a model called the 4010. It is based on proprietary technology. So the upper array part is 10 drivers in it that are line source bending waves. These are descended from many years of development. It's a two-way loudspeaker, so it's crossed over at 100 hertz to a bass cabinet, which may not seem too small, but it has two 18-inch Pro Sound woofers in it. So it is able to, kind of plumb the depths down to about 20 hertz and 20K through the array, being driven by a couple of amplifiers. So it's quite an interesting system. It's very broadband.
Well, it's one thing I noticed, viewers, it's very coherent from top to bottom. It sounds like one clock, even though there's multiple drivers. How many individual drivers are in the top array?
Well, there are 10, and
Okay.
if you notice that this array is curved, this is to allow those elements to couple up, behaving more like a single type source,
Yeah, got
and
it.
also to couple up in a way that linear vertical arrays don't, so that they can play lower. This is how we achieve that 20 or 100 hertz crossover point. And you're right, it's pretty seamless, particularly considering we're going from that to, again, two very large Pro Sound woofers, but they're allowed to operate also in a very open environment, so it's quite natural. It's also quite efficient.
What is the efficiency?
Well, we're using 25 watts now to drive this to fairly robust levels. This is about 90-60 be efficient on the top.
That's very efficient. Yeah.
And about 94 on the bottom. Typically we recommend solid state for the bottom just because of the current to drive the larger elements. Up top it could be tube,
No kidding.
door, or solid state. We really, doesn't matter. If that makes any sense. The other thing is, uncommonly, both of these elements are impedance corrected, meaning that they're both flat 4-ohm lows.
See, that's the key, viewers. It's the flat impedance modulus is the most important thing in the amplifier's ability to drive that loudspeaker without having any frequency response anomalies.
Yeah, and again, there are all kinds of products built in for many reasons. These speakers are not going to be not going to be paired with monster 500 watt amplifiers. It's just not
understood.
necessary to get the kind of sound that we're looking for.
Well, I also want to add, look at the aesthetic of the speaker. You can see it in the video, very well lit here in this video today. It's just beautiful. It's got a form and function and a shape that's unique, I think, in the audio world.
Well, the old adage, form follows function.
Yep.
This is a case where it's beautiful, but it's also beautiful because the curve does something.
It does do something.
This cabinet, the base cabinet, is particularly unusual because we get asked if it's a sealed cabinet or a ported cabinet or it's a. This is really unusual in that effectively these two sidewalls are just for guidance. The actual mounting area is here. This is an open baffle.
Okay.
That's folded up into the smallest cube you can fit it in. So in the base we have the two 18-inch woofers, magnet here, firing out. The front wave comes out there. There's an equal opening going out the back.
I see, so that they're not firing out the side, it's being forced out the front.
It's being forced out the front.
So it's closed here. Okay, got it.
Making it a dipole woofer.
Got it, I understand, man, I understand.
Now, the whole key is that this falls apart if you don't have a way to separate those amps and make it do. And there, we have a very modest device here. But
In fact, let me step aside and let you show us what this equipment is and how it works.
Well, I can give an overview of the entire equipment, but I'll focus first on our crossover. The crossover device doesn't look like much, and it doesn't have to look like much. But what it does is allow us to set up the loudspeakers beautifully, just using the arrays, 100 hertz on up. You get your imaging, you get everything right, and then you're able to adjust the bass up to the correct point in your room. This is all analog, for those who like analog. No DSP, no nothing. This has a level for the woofers, and then the other control is a very low frequency correction. because, as people know, a dipole woofer can have some cancellation depending on where you might have it in the room. So this allows us to compensate if you have a little bit of cancellation in the bass is a little weak down low. Our experience was that our entire sound setup in this room took 15 minutes. That's it. Set up at the same distance that I would normally have it in a listening room, and the same 3-foot distance from the rear wall. You dial the bass up to the correct point, you're done. So very, very simple. We're showing off, obviously, analog and digital here. We have the new VPI direct drive table. Quite a wonderful device using an airtight PC1 cartridge, a Wolf server connected to the PS Audio DSD DAC. This is a bit of an unknown piece, the Arion from Luminous Audio, but this is Mike Bettinger, who designs for VPI. And past 25 watt amp driving only the upper parts, and a preamp and a hidden amplifier. So the answer is it's a system that tries to combine full range, very high speed articulation, great dynamics, and doesn't have to be driven by many hundreds of watts.
Well, it's a great system overview. We'd like to do some listening next, if that's okay.
Perfect.
We queued up some Kate Bush from the Aerial album. It's a beautiful song. Let's hear what she sounds like.
Wonderful. I'm going to exit stage left.
Here we go.
Corridors that lead to the world.
that has so much orchestration in that song. I really feel like I've entered the keyhole and folded myself up. It's just a fantastic, fantastic musical, detailed presentation. And viewers, it does sound like one cloth. This is all together sounding.
Thank you so much.
And it's just got such a beautiful launch, a beautiful transient launch. And the look of the speaker is, I love it. It's just, that would fit into any contemporary home or any traditional home. Just a fantastic product. Here we are at the official product launch. MC Audiotech with Mark Conti. Mark Conti's a longtime designer in the audio industry.
Thank you so much, Peter.
Thank you so much, Mark. Great, great speakers.
I didn't know what time it was then I met you. Oh, what a lovely time it was. How sublime it was too. I didn't know what day it was. You held my hand, warm like the month of May it was, and I'll say it was grand, grand to be alive, to be young, to be mad, to be yours alone. Grand to see your face, feel your touch, hear your voice, say I'm all your own. I did not know what year it was, life was no prize. I wanted love and there it was, shining out of your eyes. I'm wise and I know what time it is now. your voice, feel your touch, say I'm on your own. I did not know what year it was, life was no prize. I wanted love and then love shining out of your eyes. I'm wise and I know what time it is now. I didn't know what time it was, then I met you. Oh, what a time it was too. I didn't know what day it was. You held my hand, warm like the month of May it was, and I would say it was grand, grand to be alive, to be young, to be mad, to be yours alone. Grand to see your face, hear your voice, feel your touch, say I'm all your own. I didn't know what year it was, life was no prize. I wanted love and there it was, shining out of your eyes. I'm wise and I know what time it is now.
Wow, beautiful. What's the name of that singer, Mark?
That is Cecily McLaurin Salvant, and the disc is called Woman Child.
It's beautiful, and viewers, this is a bonus music track, as you saw in the description of the video, to hang in there for the bonus track, because, boy, you really got to hear the magic of these speakers. Thanks again, Mr. Marcanti.
You're welcome.